Okay, hello everybody. My name is Ahmed. I'm the head of sales at AccountScore. Just a bit of background about who we are. AccountScore, we're an open banking company. We've got over 60 clients currently in the UK. What we basically do is we aggregate, analyze, and interpret bank transaction data, basically so that we can help lenders understand whether to lend to people or not. Okay? So we've got about 9 years of using bank transaction data, predominantly, like I say, in the UK, but also across other markets, US, India, Hong Kong, and shortly to be moving into Spain as well. A little bit of history about where we've come from. We were actually spun out of a short-term lender who arrived on the scene in 2011, and they were one of the first companies who decided they would try to use bank transaction data to understand if somebody's affordable or not, have they got a salary, can we lend to them. So when open banking came along in 2016, it was decided to spin out a sister company that could service other lenders who would also be in the market shortly after open banking comes on board, to try to support other companies to better understand bank transaction data, particularly in a credit risk environment. So we were one of the first AISPs that were approved in 2018. We did a pretty good job, I think, in those 2 years, and we ended up having a global partnership with Equifax, which meant that we are their open banking global partner. We took on our first flagship bank, HSBC, in 2019 at the start of the year. And the story's got better and better as we've amassed approximately, like I say, 60 clients. So in the last 6 months alone, I'll say to the start of the year, but really in the last 6 months alone, we've taken on board around 250,000 individuals. That's 250,000 people that have connected up with our platform via a lender, who have used that information to verify their income, analyze their affordability, and assess whether to lend to them. And hopefully we're going to be seeing a much bigger growth curve over the next year or two. In terms of what makes us different, I think the big thing that we always talk about is being spun out of a lender. We didn't start off here to create software. We basically used the technology that our parent company, our sister company, Account Technology, pioneered. So it's essentially software developed by lenders for other lenders. And it's really all about the analytics in there, and understanding how to specifically use that bank transaction data in a credit risk environment. We've built up a database of about 27,000 categories and vendors, so we can understand if you were to walk into the corner shop down the road and buy some groceries, do we know that that's groceries? Do we know that's household essentials? And that's quite a difficult thing to do across such a wide spectrum of vendors in the country. A huge part of what we do, like I say, is our analytics. And a big sign of that, one of our lead analysts, Harvey Lawrence, was recently awarded the Rising Star of the Year at the Credit Strategy Awards this year, which is just a great stamp of approval, really, that we're going in the right way, and a lot of that down is to the team that we've built who provide the analytics. In terms of interesting things we've done this year, there's been 2 things we're really, really proud of. The first one is we've actually released the first open banking product that's used to analyze and assess business bank accounts. So there's a traditional problem. If you're a small business, you want to go and get a loan, or you're a small business owner, you go and try and lease a car. There's very little information often on you as a business to help you understand, help the lender understand whether to lend to you or not. So we've started analyzing business bank accounts to better understand the business, understand their liquidity, understand their cash flow, basically try and supplement the company's accounts information that businesses have. And that can give real-time visibility to lending the teams on whether to lend to that business, whether to ask for guarantor, or essentially whether to turn them away. And on top of that, we've also started producing things like 12-month cash flow forecast as well to understand where that business is going. Are they going the right way or the wrong way? So that's one of the products we launched about 4 months ago now. We've got over 12 SME lenders in the UK already using that product. The other thing we're really proud of that we've done this year is, in conjunction with Equifax, we've launched a financial health indicator. So this is a metric that's very, very similar to a credit score, although it now just uses bank transaction data. So just from analyzing your bank account, we can obviously understand how healthy you are from a financial health perspective, but also what is the likelihood that you would repay back credit based on your bank account. And also we can spot early warning signals, be it good or bad, because of your lifestyle changes, financial status, or even we can check if you're moving into a vulnerable scenario. I'm going to spend the last couple of minutes here just going through a quick fire demo just to show you our system, how it works. But this is an example of a demo we've got of how it could work in the car finance sector. So imagine you're sat at home, you've decided you want to buy a new car, and you start flicking through. The old way of doing it was to choose a car and then go and try and see if you can afford it. We can flip that round on its head. We can let you go and understand how much you can afford before you go and start shopping around for your car. So bring a bit more realism to the game and avoid disappointment. So you sat at home on your iPad and you start the journey. You enter in the normal details you'd expect, your first name, your surname, email address, mobile number, and then straight away you'd start the open banking journey. You can go pick your bank account, and obviously everything we provide is completely consented, so the consumer knows exactly what data they're going to be passing on. So you know exactly the account details they'll be passing on, they know exactly how many transactions we're going to be seeing. Is it 3 months, like a bank statement? Is it 12 months? And also they really understand the reason for access as well. So everything's completely transparent in front of the consumer, and they know why they're handing that data over. Once you do that, you then have to essentially authenticate yourself. So that uses app-to-app redirect. I'm going to assume you've got the Lloyds banking app on the iPad. So you go use Touch ID. That takes you into your Lloyds bank account, where you connect up your bank account or your credit cards. And our system will then at that point analyze in real time your bank account, so we can come back and provide information to that lender. And from the mix of the information we provide, and obviously the lender's risk policies, they've decided that Susie here can afford a car up to £600 a month in repayments. So Susie obviously will be very pleased with that news. She can then go in and start looking at what car she wants to buy, knowing that she's got a very high likelihood of being accepted when she goes not just to purchase the car, but to get the loan. So there's an example basically of how open banking and how we can use open banking in a slightly different way to drive innovation and potentially change the customer journey and help bring more financial products to the fore. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much.